Hey everyone, it's DIZE here and welcome to the Skate 2 Iceberg Explained. You might have already seen my Skate 3 Iceberg video, if not, be sure to check it out. After it released, many people asked me to make a second iceberg for Skate 2, so here we are. Before starting the actual video, how this iceberg works is like this. At the top of the icebergs are facts that pretty much everyone knows about, while further down the levels we get to the information about Skate 2 that less and less people know about, or just things about the game that are really strange or weird. So without further ado, let's start. At the very first level we have some really basic stuff about the game. Skydive glitch. The skydive glitch is probably the most popular glitch in Skate 2. As the name already states, it throws you so high up in the air that you are basically doing a skydive. The many versions of this glitch can lead to insanely high Hall of Meat points and many funny moments. Skate 2 is better than Skate 3. This is a quite popular video showcasing why some people see Skate 2 as a superior game in the series, which opened up quite a big discussion. The video itself is pretty bad, like who would upload this? Easiest achievement. Skate 2 has probably the easiest achievement of all Skate games. The big thing about Skate 2 was that in contrast to the first game you could now finally get off your board. So why not give the player an achievement for it? Yes, the achievement Skater Evolved is unlocked simply by pressing triangle or Y. Out of Bounds demo. Before Skate 2 released, there was a small demo for Xbox 360 and PS3, in which you could play a few spots and the beginning of the game. However, since you can move objects around, people quickly found out that you can get outside of the normal demo area and explore the rest of the map, although it wouldn't load everything. The best part about this is that the developers of Skate 2 knew very well that people would do this.
In the very first game at the community center, we knew you could get out. Yeah. And it was kind of like, hopefully people don't find it. They found it in 10 minutes. Slappies, which is in the second game, we introduced a whole bunch of new stuff. So we kind of took you on a little path to get into Slappies, give you a little mini mega. We try to make everything, but I knew it's because we had DMOs for the first time, which is dynamic movable objects. We knew you could drop them, and I knew how you could set up the picnic table and just jump right out of the place. And then you could cruise down, the city for a little while. But, at the end of the day, did that hurt us? No. But we kind of were, everybody will just get everything. You don't get everything. And if you like the game, if you went through that much, we thought, well, you're being a skateboarder. That's what skateboarding was about, and he jumped out of the city. So.
Hippie flips. A hippie flip is a trick where you go above the rail while the board flips underneath it. You can do this in all Skate games, although it's not an official trick. However, Skate 2 actually mentions hippie flips in the loading screen, which is quite cool. Alright, next segment. Let's Do Work. Let's Do Work is a cheat code that unlocks the bodyguard Big Black as a playable character in free play. A fun twist with this character is that it bounces when it hits the ground. Also, rest in peace to the real Big Black, Christopher Boykin, who sadly passed away in 2017. 3D mode. If you enter the cheat code Strange Loops, the game will now appear in 3D mode if you play in free play. So if you have a pair of 3D glasses laying around, definitely try this out. Kush Pops. Okay, this is one of my favorites on the list. A Kush Pop is an old glitch that was very popular back in the day. Basically, whenever you do a revert and any trick, preferably a kickflip at a ledge, your skater shoots up in the air. With this you can hit some pretty cool gaps, and believe me when I tell you that there were some crazy people who spent hours just to hit super hard gaps like this. These people also often use grind pops and beam plants for big gaps, so I'm just gonna include them here. Trampoline glitch. This small lounge glitch was found right when Skate 2 came out. It was really easy to do and kinda defeats the purpose of Hall of Meat online lobbies, since everyone would just do this glitch and get way more points. It was also a really great way to get on top of buildings, so it was kinda sad when it was patched out. Luckily afterwards the community found the no comply glitch, which is very similar and still possible till this day. Foot plant spot. When you do enough Hall of Meat challenges, you will unlock a spawn point at the end of the spillway. You can hit some cool lines here, but what's special about this spot is the angle of the ramp. See, normally you can do 2 foot plants until your skater falls, but this ramp is steep enough so that you can continuously do them without getting too much speed. So yeah, whenever you want to do a 3600 spin, here you go. Revert pops. Similar to the Kush pop, with this glitch you do a revert on flat ground and at the last second hit a 360 hard flip. This will give you a small pop, just high enough to do a backflip. You can get quite fancy with this, although it's not the easiest glitch. But this kinda tied in with the whole Kush pop and grime pop and revert glitch scene. Moonwalk glitch. When you have enough speed and then do a manual revert and then immediately start to push afterwards, you can get into a glitched pushing mode. Your skater still pushes forward but goes backwards, making it look like a moonwalk. Colored clothing. This trick lets you buy any t-shirt in the store in a custom color. All you have to do is put on the t-shirt you want to customize, then select the default t-shirt and continue to the shopping cart. Once you're here, edit the receipt, cancel on the normal t-shirt and go back to the store. Now you can change the color of the old t-shirt you selected. Mongo Push achievement. If you skate in real life or have played any of the skate games, you probably know that Mongo pushing is not really the best way to move on a skateboard. Skate 2 makes this really clear. I mean, even the bad guys are called Mongo Corp. However, there's an achievement called Taste the Mongo that you can get when you push Mongo 5000 times in career mode. Yeah, have fun with that. Alright, next step on the iceberg. It will now get more interesting and there might be more stuff you haven't heard of. Hideki Tower no clip. The Hideki Tower is a big tower at the waterfront that you can actually unlock as a spawn point. You can then jump off of it for Hall of Meat points. However, at the back of the tower there's a small hole in the building that you can just fall through. If you land on the ground below, you can check out a hidden area inside the Hideki Tower and even fall underneath the map or hit some cool tricks. Slappy's secret ramp. When you beat this Skate 2 career mode, there's a cutscene at the very end with Slappy leaving town and handing you over the keys to his park. Right before he leaves, he says,
"Maybe I should tell him about that." No, never mind, I'll find out about that.
If you then go to the back of the park, you can see that you have now unlocked a new area in the park that was blocked off earlier. In it is a small mini ramp, which is actually quite fun to skate. I personally really love these unlockable areas in Skate 2, they just make the story so much more play-worthy and fun. On top of the bridge. If you go to this location on the map and launch glitch onto this wall, you can skate it along and do another launch glitch to get on top of this big bridge. There's not much going on here, but it's a really fun out of bounds spot to skate on, so hit some good clips while you're here. Unbreakable neck. This is kind of weird. Basically, whenever you have a bail, you get Hall of Meat points. When you have a really hard bail, you then can see which bones you broke afterwards. Now, of course, you can break every single bone, except the neck. Or more specifically, this neck and underneath the neck part. I don't know what to call it, I'm sorry. You can literally have the hardest fall ever and every single bone will be crushed. But this part will still be grey, indicating that it's not broken. So yeah, no idea why the developers decided to leave it out. Snowboard glitch. This glitch makes no sense, but it's super fun. All you have to do is set a marker while on board, teleport back to it, get off of your board, throw it away, move exactly 2 steps forward, do the thumbs up gesture and then go back to your marker. And boom, Your wheels are now underneath the ground. Why? I have no idea, but it works. It's just really hard to move around now because you can only turn when you do a manual. A cool side effect is that you can do a crazy speed glitch when you power slide just the right way. Skate 2 Advert board. Like in every other Skate game when Skate 2 was launched, there were ways to get special boards. One of them was to buy the Skate 2 control deck bundle for $85. Now, if you were one of the smart people and actually bought this back in the day, congrats, you now have first of all a really good looking special edition Damn Bones Skate 2 board, and secondly a board that is actually really rare and expensive. Good luck finding one of these anywhere today. On that note, fellow YouTuber Calplex actually bought one for $390. Was it worth it?
Oh yeah. There we go.
Magic Snake. There are many hidden areas in Skate 2, like the little pathway to the new San Van letters that you can skate down. One secret area that not so many people know about is actually mentioned in the loading screen tips as the Magic Snake. Basically, if you go to this location, there again is a small pathway leading you to a hidden snake run bowl that is super fun to skate. And if you look at it from the top, it actually looks like a snake. So yeah, this is just a cool little Easter egg park. Also fun fact, this is actually a real spot in Vancouver. Forbidden Beach. At the bottom of the map there's a big beach, however you can't actually walk on it. The game will just respawn you or lets your skater bail. Well, remember the snowboard glitch? A good side effect of it is that you can skate on out of bounds areas. So doing the snowboard glitch you can finally have a chill time at the beach. Weird no comply. In career mode there's a film challenge in which interesting your skater will do a little 360 no comply. The trick looks super fancy, however it is not included like this in the game. A 360 no comply in game looks like this. Now, why would the developers animate this cool looking trick for a cutscene but not into the game? Like come on EA, this would have been so sick. Going further down the iceberg. Hidden cheat codes. I already showed you some of the main cheat codes, but did you know that there are some hidden cheat codes? I myself forgot about these for a long time, since there are not normal cheat codes that you type in the cheat code menu. Actually, for these hidden cheat codes you simply do a button combination in the main menu, and when the cheat code worked, this little window with no text will appear. Overall, there are 3 of these hidden codes. The first one will unlock all characters in free play mode. The second one will unlock all places and maps in free play mode. And the last one apparently will unlock the best buy outfit in the store. However, I was not able to find out what exactly this one is. San Van Stadium Roof. The stadium in Skate 2 is huge and has these big gates that are always closed. Riding up to them, you can use a teleporter to get inside to the big mega ramp park, but why is the back of the stadium closed off like this? There's no way of getting onto the other side, and even if you manage to launch glitch over the gate, the ground will reset you back outside. But as some of you might know, there's actually a little trick to get behind the stadium. If you go to this spot at the gate and perform any launch glitch to get on top of this little wall, you can then skate along this barrier wall. After some time you can actually get back onto the ground and skate around in this secret area. Not only is it quite cool to skate around here, you can go even further. If you get on top of this ledge, you can actually skate up this wall all the way up to the stadium. At the very top you can also launch glitch on top of this big round screen platform if you're lucky enough to land on it. But as you can see, the real mega puck is not actually placed inside the stadium, but rather very far away from the map inside this mountain. Still, this hidden area is super fun to explore. I definitely recommend you to check it out yourself. Concept art. Like in the other Skate games, there is also old concept art for Skate 2. I made a video back in the day showing every single artwork I could find and comparing some of the sketches to the real buildings in the game. The video is a bit outdated, but if you're really interested in it, check it out. It will be linked in the description. weird road texture. Skate 2 has some cool DLCs, some of them bring back old Skate 1 maps with a few minor changes here and there. These DLC maps are closed off through these fences, but getting over them is not really that hard. So once you made it onto the other side, you can explore the rest of the Skate 1 map. Sadly, the further you go out and explore, the more unstable the map gets. Parts of the map will start to be missing, sometimes the road has no collision, or areas are fully out of bounds and can't be stepped on. The best part is that some parts of the map have wrong textures, like this car or this huge part of this road. Yeah, it's kind of weird why this was left in at the first place, but hey, it's super interesting to explore. You can die in Skate 2. Okay, this sounds a lot like the Skate 3 theory at the end, but this one is actually not really a theory but rather an in-game feature. If you play a lot of Hall of Meat and break many bones, you might have already encountered this. Basically, if you break enough of your bones, the X-ray of your skater will change so that your skull is crushed and you have a little ladder on your toe indicating that you are dead. So yes, you can actually die in this game. Oh, also, this area will be so broken that it has to be censored, which was always really funny to me. Skating on water. Remember how the snowboard glitch allowed you to skate on out of bounds areas? Well, if you jump over the fence at the dam and go to the spot, there's a little gap in the water. If you roll up to it very slowly, your wheels will be underneath the water so that you can skate on it. This is super fun and the area you can explore with it is huge. The best part about it is that all the way in the back of this lake there's a small island that actually is not out of bounds. There's nothing special on it, but like, look at me, I'm stranded on this little island. Skating in the sky. Okay, I showed you how to skate on water, now we also have to go up high in the air. Yep, in this area you can actually skate in the sky. Why? Well, it's pretty simple. There's a flat surface above the whole Magix Plaza to give the sky an extra texture, so when you do a skydive glitch high enough, you can just land on it and skate around. The surface is not fully flat though, it's going downhill to this side, so if you want to, you can go on supersonic speed to crash down onto the road. Skate 2 map in Skate 3. As you know, you can play Skate 3 on the emulator. There are some crazy people out there coding amazing mods for the game so that you can basically customize everything. Like there even is a mod so that you can build parks in the Skate 3 world. If you're interested in that, in my last video I gave the Skate 3 Mega Park a little update. Now, Skate 2 is also playable on the emulator, and with that many good modders in the community, it's no wonder that someone came up with the idea, hey, why don't we put the Skate 2 map in Skate 3. So yeah, for some time now, all of these talented people are working on importing the Skate 2 map into Skate 3. Now, as you can see, relocating all the textures alone is super hard and tedious to do. But in the time that I was making this video, the first gameplay video has actually been released. So hopefully it won't take that much longer until the mod fully releases. So again, a massive shout out to all of these people, especially GH Fear, since he laid out the groundwork to make this even possible. Skate 2 map is based on Vancouver. You might know that some spots in the Skate series are based on real life spots. For an example, this spot near the Fantasy Factory is clearly inspired by the Carlsbad Gap. But there are not only skate spots that were inspired by the real ones, actually the whole Skate 2 map is based on Vancouver. The name San Vanelona is also made up by combining San Francisco, Vancouver and Barcelona. The inspiration can be seen in things like the Mountain Sky ride, the earlier mentioned Magic Snake, the public library, and especially the Pan Pacific. I just think that this is really interesting because it gives such a better insight on how the game was created. Can you spell girl? Can you spell girl is a challenge in Skate 2 which is quite popular for being one of the hardest challenges in the game. But what's so hard about it? Okay, to break it down, you play against two pro skaters in a game of Skate. The thing is that they will copy every trick you do with ease. I'm not kidding, beating this game of Skate with normal tricks will take you at least 15 to 30 minutes or so. At least if you never mess up. Because if you mess up only once, it's one of the pro skaters' turn again to submit a trick. And now you again have to wait a long time while copying every single trick perfectly. Of course, people found out some simple tricks to make the challenge a lot easier. For an example, if you put a barrier right where the ramp will be later on. This will confuse the NPC pro skater, making it an instant win for you. Another good way is to use double flips and 540s, since the pro skaters can't do those. But now we come to the best part. See, normally when you beat a challenge, this little screen will appear, press X to continue and circle to redo the challenge. But only in this challenge these buttons are swapped. So if you're used to quickly press X to confirm, you will have to redo the challenge. There's no doubt that the developers put this in on purpose, which is just so mean but also kind of funny. Like, imagine you finally beat this challenge just to misclick a button and having to start all over again. Okay, on to the next segment of the iceberg. Here we have some things I'm sure most people not know about. Mini skaters. Mini skaters is a cheat code for Skate 3 to make your skater appear as a mini version in free play. However, there's this image the old Skate Twitter account used to have back in the day, showing Cuss in Skate 2 as a mini skater version. This suggests that this might have started as a joke from the developers that they liked so much that they decided to implement it into the next game as a cheat code. Early test footage. When I first brought up the idea of making a Skate 2 iceberg to Calplex, he helped me to find some of the old stuff. And after some time he found this footage. What you can see right here is a little concept animation for Skate 2 showing off new features. The video itself is from one of the animators who worked on Skate 2 and was found in between his showreel clips on Vimeo. So I don't think I have to tell you that I have never seen this before up until working on this video. The animation definitely looks super sick, and I wish Skate 2 actually had some cutscenes in this style. There even is a small behind the scenes shot right here, and you know, it's kinda crazy that this was found after 13 years or so. Monster Energy giveaway. Okay, this one is super weird. There are images of a Monster Energy Skate 2 campaign where you could win a copy of Skate 2, but all we have from this giveaway are these few images. There's no additional information anywhere, since it's most likely just a small giveaway in 2009 that even the employees themselves forgot about a long time ago. Still, when I first saw these adverts, it had this "wait, what the hell is this" moment. So if you know anything about this, please share it. Maybe one of you guys even won one of these giveaways back in the day. Cut content. There's a lot of cut content in Skate 2 which can be seen in earlier screenshots or files that are hidden in the game. A few that were recently discovered by Pinetri are piercings for a skater and this weird energy dome head. Another potential cut area is the fun track house. If you ever skated the fun track ramp, you might have seen this big house right next to it. Well, if you jump over this fence, there's actually a pathway leading up to it. There are even some fence posts indicating that there was a gate supposed to be here. But if you follow the pathway to the house, there isn't really that much going on. You can walk around it, but there's nothing interesting to find. Still, I wonder what the original plan for this house was. Maybe the developers had an idea for an area around it that would be connected to the main ramp. I mean, it would have been kinda insane if you had an extra ramp right here that would connect to the fun track ramp. Twitter shoe giveaway. Another giveaway, but this one is kind of funny. Basically, while researching for this video, I looked at very old tweets from the official Skate Twitter account. I think this has not always been the official Skate account, but rather an old account of one of the developers. No, in the middle of all these old tweets, I found this one.
Tweet me a pic of you and your favorite pair of kicks, and the winner will get a pair of Etnies X Skate 2 RVMs.
The shoe they are talking about is the Skate 2 Etnies collab shoe that you could actually get back in the day when Skate 2 released. With the tweet having almost no interaction, I just had to do it.
Now give me those Etnies X Skate 2 RVMs.
So did they send me the shoes? Well, no. The shoes were only produced in 2009. Like, you think they just have a pair laying around ready to be shipped to me? Wait. Oh yeah, and the official Etnies account actually liked this tweet, so that's pretty cool. Slappy is outside of his park. As said earlier, at the end of the game, Slappy leaves town to go to Barcelona. Or did he really leave? Well, if you go to this spot in Slappy's park and launch glitch over the wall, you can find him right here. The most likely reason for this is that developers needed a way for Slappy to not appear in the game after this cutscene, and since all pro skaters skate around in the town, it probably was the easiest solution to just set him standing still to this hidden location. Earthquake. This one was always really interesting to me. So in Skate 1 we had San Van as the city, and in Skate 2 New San Van. However, it's still the same city, just a bit different here and there. So New San Van really is a new version of San Van. But why did it change so much? Well, if you played Skate It for the Wii, you actually know this. Skate It takes place between Skate 1 and Skate 2, so the story goes as follows. After Skate 1 you're a big pro, and one day you just skate along the Matrix Plaza when suddenly, boom, a big earthquake destroys the whole city. After this, in Skate It, you skate around in a destroyed San Van with some new form spots. At the end you raise money for a new park and get people to come back to the city. You then see how the city is rebuilt by Mongo Corp and slowly becomes the new San Van we have in Skate 2. Hana point glitch. Compared to Skate 3, the Skate 2 competitive techniques are far more basic. In most maps you would go for big errors, crazy combos, or play like in the early days of Skate 3. However, on the map Hubba Hideout, player Kenny found a glitch that pretty much turned the whole ranking upside down. As you can see, he makes use of a little glitch in which you do infinite Hana footprints on the ledge. Since the game thinks you are in a constant air, your points will shoot up crazy high in a short time. Of course, this technique was immediately not seen as legal, but it still just looks super cool in my opinion. Demo stations. Back in 2009, when Skate 2 was soon to be launched, there were a few events with built-up demo stations, as you can see in these pictures. It was basically just a cool arcade-like looking TV connected to a console with a specific locked demo version of the game. This way everyone could try out the game and would maybe even buy it later. These demo stations looked super cool, but there are very few pictures of them. I doubt that any of them have survived till this day, but who knows, maybe someone unknowingly has one of these laying around somewhere. I bet that some people would definitely spend a lot of money to get one. 360 Revert is not a glitch. In all skate games, when you move your left stick around in a circle, your skater will do a revert, turning 180 degrees. Now, if you do a revert on a band ramp or a bump, you can actually do a 360 revert. This glitch is known since the games are out and is just an additional fancy looking trick. But what if this isn't a glitch? In this trailer at the very end, you can actually see this. So, is it a feature? Well, there's no such thing as a 360 revert in the game, but it seems like the developers were very clearly aware of this trick. The theory is that this glitch, along some other things like the earlier mentioned out of bounds tricks, were things the developers let in on purpose, simply because if it's fun, why patch it out? Teaser trailer. There's a very first teaser trailer of the game with a skateboard flying through space, simply announcing that they indeed are working on a second installment of the Skate franchise. No gameplay, no details about the game itself, just a little, hey, just so you know, we are working on this. The interesting thing about this is that I could not find out where this trailer originates from. It's not uploaded to the main Skate channel and can only be found on this random dude's YouTube channel, so if you know anything about this, feel free to leave a comment. Now we come to the bottom of the iceberg. Different language versions. Okay, this one is really interesting and also really weird. With big games you always get different language versions, but what in today's time is mostly just a switch in settings, sometimes was an entire different game back in the day. First of all, Skate 2, as the only game out of the franchise, has a Japanese version, complete with Japanese manual, Japanese menu, text and everything. By the way, in my opinion this looks super sick, but besides that the game has no differences and the audio is also still in English.
You ain't gonna make it over it, so you can just grab your board and just cruise right underneath it.
Now there's also a German version. This version also has all text in German and German voice actors. Here, listen to German Cast.
Mann, es geht los, wenn's losgeht. Und jetzt mach dich weg, du stehst mir in der Sonne.
However, the German version is actually different to the other versions of the game. This is due to the mystery and lost logos which feature an old rune symbol. In Germany, this symbol is connected to and is therefore forbidden. Because of this, there are over 20 shirts, hats and boards missing, which simply have been cut from the game. The funny thing for me is that most of these items don't even have the symbol on it, but had to be taken out just because the mystery and lost symbol would appear on the side in the shop. So if they just would have censored the logo or changed it, they could have kept in 90% of the items. Need for Speed Undercover crossover. Skate 2 was developed by EA Black Box, but Black Box did many other games too. If you look at all games they published, you can see that their main focus was on the Skate series as well as the Need for Speed series. And we are talking about the old, really good Need for Speed games.
I want every single unit after the guy.
Everyone?
So it might not be too big of a surprise that there are some Easter eggs Black Box built in referencing their other games. And I personally never knew about this one, but if you listen to the police scanner in Need for Speed Undercover, there's a chance of one police officer talking about someone from New San Van. Take a listen.
Yeah, dispatch, I just found a guy in the middle of the street, totally unconscious. Looks like he fell out of a skateboard, but he's way too old to be on one of those things. ID says he's from New San Van.
I really like this one just because it's so hard to find and so subtle, but definitely gives you that feeling of...
ID says he's from New San Van.
Oh, and by the way, there's also an Easter egg in Skate 2 referencing Paradise City, which is the city from Burnout Paradise. Start screen location. When you boot up the game, you get to this nice starting screen at Slappy's Park with people skating around. Once you press start, it takes you to the second part of the map, which shows the main menu. The cool part about this is that it actually exists in the game. When a debug version was uncovered some time ago, GH Fear made the discovery that if you move all the way over here into the mountains, you can find the assets for the main menu. An interesting addition is that in this corner, that is not visible in the main menu, you can see a little Easter egg graffiti. It's most likely that the developers put this here knowing that it would never be seen by any player, but if someone would manage to find it, props to him. Terry Kennedy. Okay, this one is pretty sad and dark. In the Skate series, the pro skater Terry Kennedy is a recurring character. He also appeared on the Fantasy Factory show as well as in other movies and was sponsored by Baker. Then in July 2021, Terry got into a fight with another skateboarder called Josiah in front of a motel. Josiah and Terry knew each other, but it's unclear what started the fight. The latest information I could find is that the eyewitness described that Terry started the fight for no apparent reason, while Josiah tried to calm him down. Terry then knocked Josiah to the ground and allegedly kicked him a few times before fleeing the scene. Josiah was then brought to the hospital with major head injuries and the police tried to locate Terry. While they finally captured the resisting Terry and shortly after this his trial started, Josiah's condition worsened and he sadly passed away 4 days after the attack. Terry was then charged with first-degree murder. As of right now, the final process seems to be still ongoing, but it's safe to say that he will rightfully spend his life behind bars. Now, looking at Skate 2, it's kind of weird that this no murder is a playable character in this game. Alternate game covers. This has to be one of the most interesting entries on the list. Basically, when I was first thinking about doing the video, I was just scrolling through the web trying to find good stuff to talk about when I suddenly discovered this account. On it he showed many sketches and art he did for several video games, including Skate 2. And amongst these sketches there were ideas for the Skate 2 cover. Now as you can see, they tried out many things to form a 2 on the cover and some of them actually look really cool. But with that being said, I think we can all agree that nothing beats the final official design. It's just so simple but perfectly captures the vibe of the game. You can reach the Skate 2 map from the Skate 1 DLC map. As stated earlier, it is quite simple to get out of bounds on the Skate 2 DLC maps. If you ever wandered around these hidden areas for too long, you might encounter at the end of the map with a big void waiting for you to jump in. One of those maps is the old community center. On it you can go out quite far and explore old San Van, and if you know how to get around the no-clip areas, you can get to the very edge of the map. But if you look into the void here, you will now see New San Van. So the question is, can you somehow get there? And is that even the real map? It looks like a super low quality version of the map, but maybe that's just due to the level of detail that can get quite low poly in Skate 2. If you paid attention earlier, you know that the starting screen location, as well as the training park and the stadium map, is also located very far outside of New San Van. So yes, technically you can get there. At least I think so. I spent a long time trying to skydive glitch to it, but I didn't even get close. But maybe one of you guys can manage to do this. Lost Lounge glitch. You know what could help us to get to the Skate 2 map? The Nollie Kickflip launch glitch, also known as the slingshot glitch. This glitch was lost for a long time. Now, what do I mean by lost? Basically, there are some old videos of the glitch, but there's not a single tutorial or explanation on how to do it. And with no further mention on the glitch anywhere, we had no idea how to do it. All we knew was basically you had to do a Nollie Kickflip into the skydive glitch and then do the shaka gesture. However, the timing is really hard, and no matter how long I tried it, I just couldn't do it. So a few other skate players deemed the glitch as lost until someone would show up and show us how to do it. And that's exactly what happened. Out of nowhere, fellow YouTuber Nic showed this glitch in a video hitting an insanely big gap.
This would have been raised just, oh wait, we could land this. Oh my god!
Of course, we asked for a tutorial and he delivered. And since the timing of this glitch is so specific, he even used a metronome in the tutorial. With it, we could finally learn how to do this glitch. Okay, but did we manage to get to the Skate 2 map? Well... Anyways, I'm gonna link Nic's tutorial in the description if any of you guys want to learn it. Frozen steaks. In 2009, EA probably found one of the craziest ways to promote Skate 2. What is the Skate series known for besides skating? Right, Hall of Meat. So they sent out a Skate 2 demo version to the CNET magazine, including 2 frozen steaks. Get it? Cause Hall of Meat, meat, steak. Steak is also an anagram for skate? Yeah, this is absolutely crazy. Even the writer of the article, Dan Eckerman, clearly has this look of what the... Anyways, I think it's super funny how they pulled this super crazy marketing stunt, and until recently when Pinetri showed me this article, I have never ever even heard of this. I kinda wonder if they still have these laying around somewhere. The Shining in Skate 2. The Shining might be one of the most iconic horror films of all time. If you haven't seen it, it's basically about a family that stays at a hotel while the dad goes insane all the time and tries to kill them. Throughout the movie there's a lot of symbolism and many iconic scenes. And one of these iconic scenes starts with the boy Danny playing with his toys on the floor. Now this really unique carpet pattern has since been referenced in other media for a long time. For an example in Toy Story right here. But what does this have to do with Skate 2? Well, if you go to this small bridge that is shown in the intro scene, you will find a very similar floor pattern. This was always a cool little Easter egg, but nothing too special. But if you take a closer look at New Sandvan, you'll notice even more similarities to The Shining. Like at the beginning of the movie where we see this lake with a small island in the middle, which can also be found at the dam in Skate 2. Next we follow this car driving next to a cliff through this tunnel surrounded by a pine tree forest, and would you look at that, a road next to a cliff leading through a similar looking tunnel surrounded by a pine tree forest. And at the end of the beginning scene we arrive at the top of the mountain at the main location, the Old Overlook Hotel. And what can be found at the top of the Skate 2 mountain? That's right, this old hotel. Still not convinced? Well, now we come to the craziest part. At the very beginning of Skate 2, we get to know all the characters in the prison intro scene. Then we see this. Now, if you have seen The Shining, you will remember the bear scene. As you can see, the Skate 2 scene is a direct copy of it, but not only that. Afterwards, the camera pans up to show Mark Applegarth's name scribbled onto the wall. This is a reference to the Red Rum scene in The Shining. Here, Danny uses a lipstick to write Red Rum onto a door, which then backwards in the mirror spells out murder. If we compare the two ones, we can even see how the K in Mark Applegarth's name is written backwards just like the R in Red Rum. Alright, maybe this is all just a big stretched theory. At least I thought so.
It is The Shining. No, the Jerry Sue, that's The Shining. It's where Jerry Sue's with talking to the panda. That's The Shining. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So apparently there really is some truth to this theory, which was just super mind-blowing for me. Alright, that concludes the iceberg. I gotta give a big shout out to all these people who helped me making this video possible. Definitely check out their channels, they will be linked in the description below. And of course also a huge thank you to Cass for joining in on this video for a little interview. There were a few things I couldn't include in the iceberg, like the hidden locations on the map or unusual stuff, because the video would just have been way too long. But I hope I did a good coverage on all topics and that you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to drop a like and leave a comment. This will really help out growing my channel. Also, if you want to, subscribe for more Skate 3 content. And yes, my next video will be a new park on the emulator, so stay tuned for that. But until then, thanks for tuning in and I will see you in the next video. Bye!